Hello, welcome to Boodly Books. My name is Ruth Gilmore Inglestreet, and I love to read stories, especially from different cultures, like Ukraine. Would you like to hear a story from Ukraine?
Yes, I would. That would be interesting.
Yes, and today our story features a crow.
I was wondering why you were sitting there.
Yeah, this is a new friend, isn't it?
Caw, caw.
Oh, he speaks crow. Do you understand?
A little bit.
Well, this story is called Lord of the Crows, and it's a folktale that is retold by Ginny Graham Scott.
Caw, caw.
Oh, you want to get started? Okay, here we go. Lord of the Crows by Ginny Graham Scott.
Caw.
Okay. Sasha lived on a farm with his parents, 2 older brothers, and 3 sisters in a small hut in the Ukrainian countryside. Though his father worked hard, the family was very poor. Their plot of land was too small for a good harvest, and his father only owned 2 thin oxen, so often they had little to eat.
Caw.
Yeah, it is sad. In the spring, Sasha helped his father plow the field. As his father guided the oxen, he tossed seeds in the furrows.
Caw.
Oh, a furrow. A furrow is like a little dent in the ground where you sort of dig down and then you can put seeds in the ground. No, they don't eat the seeds. They wait for them to grow.
Caw, caw, caw.
Yeah, it is a good idea. Okay. One sunny day, the sky grew dark, and Sasha saw a huge black bird circling above. Its sharp beak was like a sword, its long claws like hooks. When the bird landed, its outstretched wings covered Sasha, his father, and the oxen. I'd be scared too, yeah.
I am the Lord of the Crows,
he announced in a loud, gravelly voice to Sasha's father.
I have come to get tribute for your land. What will you give me? Your son or your oxen? My children at home are hungry, and I want to feed them. Caw.
It's a scary story. Is it okay if I keep going? Okay. No, Sasha's father pleaded. Don't take my son or my oxen. Take me instead. My son is young, and my family needs the oxen so we can grow wheat and vegetables to eat. The Lord of the Crows shook his head.
No, you are too old for a good meal. You must choose your son or your oxen.
I know, it's a terrible choice. He flapped his large wings, and the earth trembled. The old man grabbed Sasha firmly. No, I cannot give up my son to such a fate. You may take my oxen.
A good choice,
the Lord of the Crows replied.
Your oxen will make a much better meal for my children, so I will pay you well for your oxen.
Yeah, I know. He really needs those cows, doesn't he? As the crow grabbed the oxen and plow in his claws and rose into the air, the sun came out again.
Just send one of your sons to my palace in the forest, he called out. I will give him whatever he wants. It's a hard, long journey, but someone he meets along the way can help him find my palace.
Then the crow flew away. When Sasha and his father returned home without the oxen, his mother burst into loud sobs. "Oh no, now we can't plow and sow our seeds, so surely we will starve." Igor, the eldest son, spoke up to comfort her. "Don't cry, mother. I'll go see the Lord of the Crows. Since he said he will pay for the oxen, I'll get the money to buy what we need." Okay, so see, there's some hope.
Okay.
The next day, Igor set off for the palace, holding a small loaf of bread his mother baked for him. On the way, he crossed 2 steep hills and a low valley. As he entered the forest, it grew darker and darker. Soon he felt hungry and sat down on a log. As he took a bite of bread, a lame, one-legged crow appeared on the path and hopped over to him. Oh, go ahead, you can do the crow,
Hello.
said the crow.
I am very hungry. Can you give me a piece of your bread?
Oh. Igor shook his head. "No, I have very little to eat, and I'm hungry too. I have a long way to go."
I'm going through the forest too,
said the crow.
but my wings and legs are too weak to go any further.
Oh.
Can you carry me on your shoulder, and I'll show you the way?
"No," said Igor. "I'm too tired myself, and you'll be too heavy." Dejected, the crow flapped his wings and flew off, while Igor finished his bread. Then Igor walked fast to get to the palace more quickly, but night was falling, so soon he couldn't see the path and lost his way. Yeah. At home, Sasha and his parents, brothers, and sisters waited for Igor, but after a month, they gave up hope. And Sasha's next oldest brother, Boris, told his mother, "I will find out what happened to Igor, and I will go to the Lord of the Crows' palace to get the money for the oxen." The next day, Boris set off with a small loaf of bread from his mother. Like Igor, Boris crossed the 2 hills and low valley, then entered the deep forest. It became darker as he walked. Feeling hungry and tired, he sat down by a bubbling stream and took his bread from his bag. But before he could take a bite, the lame old crow appeared through the trees and hopped over. "Go ahead,"
Please,
the crow begged.
I'm so hungry. Just need a piece of your bread.
Oh. Boris looked at the crow scornfully. "Why should I give you anything? Your lord took away our oxen, so ask him to feed you." The crow pleaded with him.
Can you at least carry me across the forest on your shoulder, since I am hungry and lame?
"Why should I?" snapped Boris. "Ask the Lord of the Crows to help you." So, with a hop, the lame crow jumped across the stream and flew away. After Boris finished his bread, he plunged deeper into the forest. But when night fell, he became confused in the dark. The shadowy forest, he soon lost his way. After another month, without either brother returning, Sasha announced, "I will go to the Lord of the Crows' palace to get the money, and I will try to find my brothers." Though his mother and father pleaded with him, saying, Don't go. You are our last son, Sasha insisted. I must go because I am the only one left to get the money and find my brothers. The next day, he headed off with a small loaf of bread from his mother. After several days, he too was deep inside the forest. As it grew darker, he became very hungry and tired. When he sat down and took his first bite of bread, the lame crow limped over.
Please, please, a piece of your bread,
He begged. He hopped on one leg, flapped his wings weakly, looked at Sasha with large pleading eyes. Sasha gazed at the bird with pity. You poor thing, he said. Here's a piece of my bread. I have enough for two. Besides, I would enjoy your company after my long walk alone. The crow sat down beside him and gobbled up the bread.
thank you so much.
He said when he was finished.
Now I have one more favor to ask. Can you give me a ride to the Lord of the Crows' palace?
Sasha hesitated, since the crow looked so heavy.
But I'm lame and my wings are weak.
The crow pleaded. So Sasha finally agreed. He lifted the crow onto his shoulder and headed down the path. When it grew dark, the crow whispered in his ear,
Let me show you the way, or you will surely get lost.
As Sasha walked, the crow told him what to do.
Go right. Now left. Now straight ahead. Oh, watch out for that hole so you don't fall in.
Day after day, they traveled until they came to a grove bathed in sunlight. Beyond it, Sasha saw a high cliff, and on top was a large white palace with many towers.
That's the palace,
The lame crow said.
Now you can find your way alone. But before I leave, I want to give you some advice since you were so kind to me.
The crow leaned close and whispered in Sasha's ear.
The Lord of the Crows will ask what you want for the oxen. Tell him you only want what he puts under his pillow before he goes to bed at night.
Then, flapping his wings, the crow flew away.
This is kind of a scary story. Is it gonna get better?
Well, we have to find out what happens.
Yeah. Can I stay next to you?
Yes, you can stay right next to me. We'll finish the story together, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Sasha walked on and climbed the steep path to the palace. Two black crows guarding the gate led him inside, and he followed them into a long room with silver walls. The Lord of the Crows sat on a high silver throne. As Sasha walked over and bowed in greeting, the Lord of the Crows looked at him in amazement and asked,
How did you get here? No human has ever found his way here before.
Oh, some kind people I met in the forest told me where to go, Sasha said, not wanting to tell about the lame crow. The Lord of the Crows leaned back in his throne.
Well, since you are here, I must keep my promise to give you whatever you want for your oxen. Look around my palace and tell me what you want.
For the next 3 days, Sasha stayed as a guest. At night, he slept in a room with gold satin sheets, and each day he walked from room to room, seeing the palace's many treasures. He saw chests of gold, silver jewelry, and fine silk clothes. Then he humbly knelt before the Lord of the Crows to tell him what he wanted. You have a beautiful palace. I liked many things. Yet my family and I don't need such riches. Instead, I will ask for only one thing. Just give me what you put under your pillow at night. The Lord of the Crows grimaced in anger and beat his wings against the throne. He called for the guards at each door to come before him and yelled at them loudly.
How did the boy find out about this? Someone who showed him around the palace must have told him, go find this crow and cut off his head.
As the guards flew off, the Lord of the Crows turned back to Sasha.
You must change your mind about what you want,
he said angrily.
You must not ask for what you cannot have. Instead, I will reward you richly with 12 oxen and a wagon full of gold.
Sasha thought about how much his father needed the oxen to plow and how much his mother would like the gold. Then he recalled what the lame crow told him and replied, No, I only want what you put under your pillow at night. At last the Lord of the Crows agreed.
All right, since you insist, and I have given my word, you may have that.
He ordered a guard to fetch the object. Soon the guard returned holding a small copper coffee grinder.
What? What kind of treasure is that?
I don't know. We'll find out. The Lord of the Crows shoved the grinder at Sasha.
Here, take this and go away before I go back on my word and have my guards peck you to death. I never want to see you again.
Oh, what a mean crow.
Yeah, and dangerous too. Terrified, Sasha put the grinder in his bag and fled from the palace. Back in the forest, he sat down to rest. Hungrily, he reached into his bag for some bread, but none was left.
Oh no.
Yeah, sadly, he took out the grinder and looked at it closely. How ordinary it seemed, made of copper, not silver or gold. What a poor choice I have made, Sasha said to himself. I shouldn't have listened to that lame bird. I should have taken the oxen, gold, and a little food. Now I will surely starve and never get home. Sasha held up the grinder and was about to throw it away in disgust when he suddenly wondered, why did the Lord of the Crows offer him all his riches if he didn't take this grinder? He looked at the grinder more closely, yet it still seemed like any other coffee grinder with a wooden handle on one side. Sasha sighed to himself. I wish I had a table here with plenty to eat and drink like the one in the palace. As he put the grinder down, he gave the handle a little twist. At once, a table with a golden cloth, several bottles of wine, and a large platter of chicken, potatoes, and cabbage appeared before him. Sasha jumped up happily. "What wonderful things the grinder can do!" he exclaimed. Then, thinking of his family far away and his brothers lost in the forest, he was sad again. "I wish we were together again," he said to himself, again tapping the handle. A moment later, his father, mother, brothers, and sisters were seated at the table with him, and they eagerly enjoyed the feast with him. When they finished, Sasha wished they were all back home. An instant later, they were. "Now I wish our home was larger and more comfortable," he said. At once it became twice as big. It had white curtains and a thick brown rug. Now Sasha and his family never lacked for anything they needed. Sasha only had to make a wish and twist the coffee grinder's handle, and they soon had whatever they wanted. As for the Lord of the Crows, he was so upset at the loss of his magic coffee grinder that he lost all his power and shrank in size. So now he is just another crow. Sasha's father even shoos him away sometimes.